Alright, welcome back to Angie's DIYs, and today we're going to be working on what we call Wednesday Wood Scrap Day. And on Wednesdays our videos are going to be about wood scraps. And today are things that come off the wood pile, and this came off the wood pile. What are these called? Floor joists?
They use it for floor joists. It's like
a finger.
2 by 8, 2 by 10.
Something like, I think it's called, it's what they use to put the foundation on the floor, under the floor, and I think. And so what we want to make with these are some little primitive benches. And we're hoping, the plan is, we don't have a pattern, we're just going to be going by our brain. So what we're going to do is try to make 3 sizes with the idea that somebody could use it for plant stands to put their ferns on or whatever. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get my plan out of my head onto the paper here. And I've seen these before, like at the mountains and different places like that. So they're very primitive. So I know I want the legs to go like that. I want the legs to go like that. And then the top, just a rectangle in different sizes. And then, it's like a rectangle. And then I want a triangle. And I did practice on this some yesterday at my aunt's house, and I really had a hard time with that triangle. But I want the triangle to be like the support. And then I was thinking maybe a stretcher. But since we're not going to be using these to sit on, we may not need a stretcher. So we're going to play that by ear. So it's going to sort of look like, hopefully, like this, with a triangle for the support. See that little leg? Then have a triangle for the support, and then that's the top. So that's the leg, and that's the top, and there's the triangle. Alright, let's see, can we do it? I'm going to put my little plan back here. So I guess we need to do some math. The average height, I think yesterday I made that one 21 inches high. But for a chair, I think is that 17? Can you take the tape measure and go and measure a chair from the seat to the floor? I think it's going to be 17. Now I'm sharing this process with you, right from the creative start. Now you might say, Miss Angie, you didn't invent that bench. No, I didn't. But I've seen it many places, and I'm going to try to replicate it in my head and use what I have to do it with. I don't have a pattern, so this is how I'm going to do it. And you can too. I got confidence in you. If you got some free wood, what you got to lose? Just some time. Maybe a stroke of heat if you're in South Carolina. I got a fan going on. I'm outside and I got a fan going on down there.
My mama's old sewing chair, it was 18 to the top of the wood, and then the cushion on top was 19.
So let's go with 18, because we're probably going to use it for a plant stand. So we're going to go with 18 inches. So we know we need 2 legs. We need 2 of these. So we need 2 pieces, 18 inches. All right, so if we're going to graduate them, like a fern, a fern, a fern, what do you say, maybe 4 inches difference? Okay, so we need 2 at 18. We need 2 at, what did I say? We're going to go 4 inches, 14, and then 2 at 10. All right, let's see how tall 10 inches. That might be too short for a bench. 10 inches. That's basically just a riser. I think that'd be good, won't it? Okay. Alright, so now we need 2 legs at 18 inches, 2 legs at 14 inches, and 2 legs at 10 inches. You want to start with the, let's start with the 18. Let's make the big one first, okay? And then we can decide how far we want the top to be in a little bit. But that won't affect, I don't think that'll affect the size of the leg. Okay, let's just get one board to work with. We got several of these. How hot is it supposed to get today?
In the 90s, like 93, 92.
We live in the hot part. Okay, so I'm guessing we need to get these ends straight. That one straight? Okay. Mark it at 18. Then this little thing right here, they're real cheap. I think they call them a speed square. Is that what they call this? Man, that's what you need right there. They're real cheap. Get you 2 or 3 of them in case you're not good at keeping up with your stuff, and you'll always have them. All right, are we going to have 18 on this side? Yep. Go ahead and mark this side. Do you think we would do better with the chop saw or the circular saw? Circle.
Either way, you have to make multiple cuts because it's once big. Sand that down just a little bit.
Okay, is this an 18-inch piece? Okay. Don't make it pink.
Sand them a little bit.
Alrighty. Okay, we got our first 2 legs cut. Now we need to make that triangle. I wanted to go ahead and sand, but I got my, I don't have that plugged in. I need to plug in that Ryobi battery. I gotta wait for that battery to charge. So let's go ahead and do our triangle. Now this is gonna be rustic, so in my opinion, rustic means the family had a few scraps and they needed a little item. So they took what they had and they made something out of it. In my opinion. Now that might not be accurate, but that's the way I'm going with it. I'm gonna say that's gonna be about 4.5. What you think, Russell?
Yep.
So if that's 4.5, I'm gonna try to get that triangle in the middle. It don't have to be perfect, but I'm gonna try to get it in there. How's that look to you?
It's a start.
You think it needs to go up higher?
Most of them do. But it's up to the artist. I don't think it's got to be up that, up that far.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it up a little higher. And then we'll take what we cut out and use it for the pattern over there. How about that?
Okay. Moving.
Okay, let's show them what we got. So we got it coming up a little higher. And that is this piece on our little picture. So piece on this little picture. All right, let's cut it out, Russell. Okay, that's our pattern, and let's mark an arrow so we'll know which direction to make that triangle in. I think that was the problem I had yesterday. You would think, well, why couldn't you make a triangle? Well,
You want to do it, use that to draw it, or
either way you want to do it.
make sure you got it in the center.
Here you go. Come right here, buddy. So there we go. That's good. Okay, we got our 2 at 18 inches. Let's see. They're not exactly the same height, but I think we'll trim the bottom to make them the same height. Okay, so now we need to decide. How wide we want it. How wide do we want the bench? And do we want all 3 of them the same width? We already determined the height, so now we need to determine the width. And I'm seeing it in my mind like this. Plant stand, so that would be one there. Then probably would want to sit one maybe in front of it. Maybe one in front of it. Maybe like nesting, yeah. There we go. like that. So if I want them to nest, I probably need one at, I think I'll just go with the same height as the legs. Let's do 18, what did this say? 14 and 10. Well, that would make them like cubes. So let's go 20, 16, and 12. All right, let's do 20, 16, and 12. So we need a piece 20 inches long. We're going to do 20, 16, and 12. That way they won't look like cubes, and we'll have a little overhang on each side of the leg. And if it don't work, no big deal. It's free wood. We can have marshmallow roast. So we need 20 inches. What was 20, so did that leave 16 on this? Maybe I could get a second one out of this piece. Exactly. We just make it work. Okay, do 20 first. We're making while we have work here. We're going to go 20. And then 16. Or close to 16 as we can get. Okay, do the end down there. I think it says we're going to already cut here. Let's cut that in. Because we got to cut that in anyway. Okay, we got a big knot in this wood, so we're not sure if it's going to bust or not. We'll see. We're going to give it a try. It's just scrap wood, so. I like to get mine up to speed before I hit the board. Okay. Kept the wrong side straight, but no worries. We'll trim it up. It's not too bad. I think we might could just sand that. Let's just try to sand it and see if we can straighten it up. That ain't gonna. This is some sandpaper I bought at an auction. The back of it's not sticky, but I still use it. I just can't use it on my power tools. It's pretty good sandpaper. It just won't stick to my power tool. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, I got it cleaned up pretty much the way I want it. So now I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit. some 220 for that. 220 grit. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. All I'm trying to do is make sure there's no splinters sticking out that can get in somebody's hand. It's not perfect, but it's good. Okay. Now we went back and cut another piece of board to fit this. I found that while I was over plundering in my wood pile. And thought it would look good on the large one. So we're going to attach it to the back like that, and then that would keep the plants from falling over. So that's why we recut this one at 24. Our second one's going to be at 20, and our third one would be at 16. Okay, let's get these legs on. Now my plan was to put like a little piece of triangle here, but my helper had to leave, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. We'll see. Oh, I need to sand this one. Let me get this one sanded right quick. I thought I did both of them, but I didn't. Okay. All right, I'm satisfied with that. So I need to measure how far in I want to put the legs, and I'm just going to go 2 inches. I think 2 inches will be enough. And this container is the stash for triangles. All of this stuff in this is mainly things you use to put draperies up with. So whenever I find them, I get them and I throw them in here because I can always use these little wood things for different crafts. So we've got 4 out of there. And this one actually goes for, I think, a shelving unit because it's got these little holders in it. I thought I had them all out. Russell, can you get that one out? So we took those metal pieces out. Here you go, baby. And we drilled pilot holes in there on each one. So we got the pilot holes ready on these. We've got the pilot holes ready on the end of the legs, and we've got the pilot holes ready in the top part. So now we're going to start the assembly, and we've got the quick and thick type bond, and we also got the type bond too. So let's get these. I'm hoping these screws aren't going to be too long, but this wood is so thick, I'm hoping it'll work. So I'm just going to get them started. Okay, let's see, can we get our holes lined up. Good job. Okay, let's do the other side. We probably should have our speed square so we can make sure we got a good angle going here. I'm taking that extra glue and putting it in these little cracks. Okay, let's get the glue on here. Keep your fingers crossed, let's check it. I say that's close enough, wouldn't you? It's just for decor, it's not for a foundation for a house. So close enough is good enough. If If you never used wood glue before, it's not that expensive, and it really does make a difference in your projects, especially if you're not a professional and you're just enjoying yourself. You need to get you some of that wood glue. Okay, we're going to put a temporary brad in it. I think they call this toenailing. Now we're going to put the permanent screws in. Don't fall off. There you go.
No.
It went through. Wow. Okay.
It's got a little bow in it right there.
Yes.
That's fine.
Okay, so we got our legs on. They're pretty sturdy, but we want to add this. We want to add these little extra supports. And I'm missing one. Alright, so I showed you where we got the pilot holes already drilled on these, and these are the screws we're going to use for this one. Yeah, we already tried one. I tried it on one of them. So we're going to use the glue. We're going to use screws. Okay, I was going to show you where we got the screws at for that. This little tray, all of this is screws that come out of projects. And so I just throw them in this tray. So this is actually scrap screws that we're using for Wood Scrap Wednesday. Everything we're trying to use today is free stuff. So I'm counting that as free. Now you can get this little tray at Harbor Freight, and it's pretty neat because it's got a little spout here if you want to pour them all back into your container. But I use it for scrap screws. So I'm counting. Oh, look at this one. Isn't that pretty?
Copper nail.
That's like a copper roofing tag. I've got several of those. But I'm saving that for a special project. I think I got a bucket of those, don't we?
I think so. So you want this big one?
Yeah, just make the pilot hole bigger, and then the screw will go down further. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the glue on these while Russell's. What happened is the screw's not long enough. It's plenty long enough for this end, but it's not long enough for this end. But we already got all the screws out. They match. So we're going to make the indention deeper here so the screw will go down further. We're just rigging it up because, like I said, all of this is scraps. We're using free stuff.
Let me try this one first.
We've got the 3 sizes. We went by our little pattern that we drew out. So this one is the 18, the 10, and the 14. Turn my fan off so you can hear me a little better. Okay, so we did like a 4-inch. This one's a little bit different, but you get the idea. We wanted them almost to nest, like nesting. And so this would be for like a front porch. You could put your ferns, your petunias, whatever you would like to have on your porch. And I think this is going to be good for fall because a lot of people decorate the front of their house for fall. And so I think these will really go good for that. But we didn't get everything on film what we did, so I'm going to show you quickly. Or just do a little recap, okay? We measured these boards. We did change up from the skill saw and use the chop saw. And that did a lot better. That was a lot better. But not everybody might have that, so you can do it with the skill saw. Cutting wood this thick with a jigsaw, I don't know. It might work. I'll have to try it and let you know. So all we did was cut the board, measure the boards and cut them. And then I showed you my stash of these little curtain embellishments for curtain rods and how to hang curtain rods. And we just used those in like a corbel style. And we did pilot holes for each one to keep them from busting. And then we took wood putty and did like you do when you're caulking around molding or trim. We did that with wood putty on these since these are going to be outside. So now all we need to do is a light sand on the wood putty areas, and we're going to paint. Okay, we're going to use the mouse sander because it's got this point on it, and we can get into the crevices to get some of this wood putty off, but we're not going to take too much off because we still want it to look rustic. I need to get the diaper wiper wipe it down. Okay, this one's ready to rustle. Okay, we got them all sanded. Now we got to clean them back up. And we're going to clean the table back up so we can paint them without getting all this dust into the paint. Okay, we got them cleaned up. We got the table cleaned off. And now we're going to paint them. We'll have enough drop cord to show them. We're going to be using the Home Decor Paint Sprayer by Wagner. Okay, let's go over a couple of mistakes here. Number one, I didn't have my protection on for my paint mask. That's a bad mistake. It's better to be safe. Second of all, should have started with one, just painted one, then the second one, then the third one. Because now I'm out of paint and I got to add more paint, and it would be better for the consistency of the color if I would have just done one, a thin coat, let that dry, and then do another coat. I'm spraying on too thick. The third or fourth item, I should have practiced with the nozzle on there for my width of how the spray was going to come out. Because once I got started, I realized I had it on like a thin stream and I wanted it thicker. So that's a couple of mistakes that I made. That's only the second time I've used that sprayer, but I really like it. It's fun for this kind of crafts like this. Okay, so let's load back up, let this dry a few minutes, and do a second coat. All right, we got all the paint on. We're going to wait for them to dry. And the paint that I'm using on here, I'm not sure what it is, because I'm trying to use free stuff, scraps, because this is Wood Scrap Wednesday. But I'm pretty sure it's a house paint. But I'm still going to seal it. I'm waiting for it to dry, and then I'm going to seal it with some wax. So let's let that sit and dry, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, here we go. I got it staged for you. These are just some little pots I had back there in my junk pile. These are just some weeds from the woods here on the property. I don't have any potted plants right now, but I do like to get potted plants for the fall. Scrap wood, scrap paint, curtain rod embellishments, the brackets that you hold curtain rods up with. That's what we're using for the corbel style angles underneath. I think it would be beautiful for the fall. I did not put the wax on them yet. This paint is taking a little longer to cure, so I'm just going to wait, and then I'm going to put a coat of polyacrylic on it. I would imagine they would be on someone's porch most of the time, but just in case, I'm going to put that polyacrylic on it to make it stronger, make the paint stronger, because like I said, I don't really know what kind of paint that is. It didn't have a label on it, but I'm pretty sure it's house paint. But just in case, I'm going to put a protector on it. Okay, what do y'all think about it? I really like them. I might keep them for myself. This is our little storage building that I've got them sitting in front of today, staged up for you. Hey, if you're going to make some of these, I'd like to know. Let me know if you're going to make them and how yours turned out. See you on next Wednesday for Wood Scrap Wednesday. And remember, crafting's fun, but it's not worth your life. Be safe.